Now we're just waiting because everything always takes forever. What is that? What the hell? Is there a ghost of me? I guess I have a crack in my screen protector. Anywho, hello everyone and welcome back to another dolly video. If you saw by the title, then you know what this video is about, and it is about boil rinsing your Poofy Crissy family doll hair. So, I actually have two dolls that we're going to be doing today. One of them is this Crissy that I got years ago at an antique mall. And as you can see, this part of her hair right here is just sticking up and doesn't want to stay down. I washed and conditioned her hair, but I never did boil rinse it. I always meant to, but never got around to it. But she also has a couple missing plugs up here in the front. And also her hair should curl under her chin, and it does not. But other than that, she's in pretty good shape. Her hair is super shiny. And yeah, so that is one that I'm going to be doing today. And the other one is this one that I've been meaning to do for ages. But it is this Talkie Velvet, and you can see her hair is exceptionally poofy. She got that voluptuous hair. But yeah, so I'm also going to be boil washing her hair so it'll lay nice and flat instead of all poofy looking like bedhead. But yeah, so let's get right into it. So obviously you are going to need your doll and some brushes and a towel and preferably gloves if you're not comfortable with handling scalding hot water with bare hands. I am. I've done it enough times. I still burn myself from time to time, but you know, whatever. So I'm going to start with this Crissy. And first, obviously, make sure your doll is washed, conditioned, and super nice and clean. Sorry about the terrible lighting. I didn't feel like fooling with my ring light today. But then you want to, if your doll is already nice and clean, you're just going to want to take out her tail. And then you just remove that little pin and her knob, and push her belly button through, and just wiggle it around in there until it's nice and free, and that will easily just, boop, pop right up. And then after you do that, so you have your doll, if the part line is not completely done all the way back, like right here, you can always flip that back over and fix it, but her tail actually hides most of that, so I'm not too worried about it. I am going to put this back through there and just put this all back together because I've been known to lose and mix up pieces. Okay. I don't want to get a copyright. So yeah, now you have your doll, and then you're going to want to take her legs off so that, you know, all the water can drain out if any goes into her body. Boop. There's one. And there's two. Okay. Fix those flanges there. Okay, so you have your doll, and now before you want to just brush this hair out and get it to where, as best you can, to where you want it to lay. And she has a lot of, if you can hear that, that's all double rooting, which means that when they were doing the hair, the plugs go into one plug and then get tangled up and then go into the next plug, and then so on and so forth, creating all these little tiny loops that go from plug to plug. So that's what all that is. and it is all over her head. Alright, now that you have your doll nice and brushed out, you are going to want to turn your water on and turn it to hot as it'll go. And just let it run for, you know, whatever, till you see the steam or whatever. And then I'll explain in a minute after all the noise. Your guys' microwave is probably a lot better than mine. Mine is on the fritz. So the time you put the water in the microwave for, it all depends on how well your microwave works. Basically, it's just, you want the water to be to the point of like a very, very light bubble. You don't want it like a full rolling bubble, just like a light, just where it starts to bubble is fine. Okay, so now with your water, as hot as it'll go. There's a little hair in here, just like that. Alright. I use a Pyrex measuring cup. And then I'll go take this over to my microwave. I heard that on a TikTok, and that's the only way I say it now. Alright, and then you're going to stick this in your microwave. Alright. Now, like I said, my microwave is on the fritz, so it does this thing where the part that turns on the heat, it kicks on, and then it kicks off, and then it kicks on, and then it kicks off, like every 2 or 3 seconds. So it takes about 3 to 3.5 minutes for my microwave to get the water to a boiling state. Like I said, other people might have better microwaves than me, so some people it might take 2 minutes, 2 minutes 30 seconds, a lot less than 3 minutes. But yeah, mine's about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So I'm gonna do 3:30. And then we're gonna go back over here. And then usually while I have water boiling, I'll usually, you know, work on the doll hair, shine it up, you know, do whatever. Another thing I do while the water is heating up is I will take my doll, and I need to get this part here where it needs to go with all this hair. And not do that. Okay. And then I'll just get the hair wet. That way when I pour the water over it, it's already wet, and then everything just easily goes into place. Okay, and now with the hair nice and wet, I'll just take my brush and just brush her hair out and get it into the style that I want. Like I said, her hair is already pretty shiny, but it does need the good boiling. Take all this, curl it under. I know some people like the hair like tucked behind the ear, but me personally, I like it when it's forward and then curled under the chin. Then I'll use this brush to really get everything nice and flattened out. And you can see her hair is not curling under very well. It's kind of just sticking downwards. But that will all change. So I think right about there, something like that, is how I want her hair to look. And then this will all curl right up under her chin. And so will this side. So she will be a nice, pretty Crissy again. And you can see all that nice, pretty shine in her hair. Alright, got about 15 seconds left. So we'll go grab that. Ooh! Microwave is apparently having a good day. That is a full rolling bubble. So that is perfect. Okay, so now with your boiling hot water, set you back up there. We are just going to take our doll, and if you don't use gloves, make sure you position your fingers and you tilt the doll so that that hot ass water doesn't go towards your fingers. Alright, and then you're just basically going to slowly pour it over her head. And that will heat up that plastic hair. And it'll smooth it out. Look how nice and shiny that is now. Alright, and then I'll do one part. And then I'll just take my brush and just smooth it out to where I want it. And use my finger to nicely curl it right underneath. Just like that. You see how kind of, wow, look at that right there. It's not the greatest lighting, but you can see how it just shines like glass. So nice. Alright, now I'm gonna do the back. Like that. And take your brush, brush all that nice and smooth. Wow, oh my god, that is so smooth. And I'm noticing there's a little bit slight highlights in the back. Okay. Here's your finger, flatten that out real nice. Make sure everything lays exactly the way you want it. Just like so. You can see how nice and shiny that is now. And now we do the last side. Especially right there in the front. Get it right up on there on those parts that's sticking up. Alright. Now I have to fix her entire hairstyle because of that. Alright. Ooh, that's warm. Alright, so I'm just going to brush all this out nice and smooth and get it right to where I want it. use my finger and really smooth all that out and get it right where I want it. This part here can go underneath. Oh, her hair is so shiny now. Not that it wasn't shiny before. Okay, now I do the front. Here, I'll use this part. Okay. Use your finger. Smooth all that out. Get it into the position that you want it to be in. And some of this stuff in the back I like to curl forward towards her ears. She definitely has some type of highlights in her hair. And it just lays nice and perfectly right there underneath her chin. You can see how nice and shiny that is. Alright, now I'll take you over to the ring light so that you can really see how much shine is in her hair. Well, actually right there is perfect. See how nice and perfectly nice and smooth and shiny all the way around. And then I'll usually go, oh, excuse me. Felt like I had to sneeze. I'll usually go set her outside when it's nice and windy so that she'll dry a little bit faster. But you can see now after boil washing, rinsing, how nice and perfectly smooth her hair is. And then that part there is usually covered by the tail, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, that is how I get my doll's hair nice and super shiny. Because I've been getting asked a lot about that recently. From my dolls that I've been cleaning up, they've been coming out super duper nice. However, some of them did need some boil rinsing. And actually, I'll come in here and I'll show you one of them. What did I do with her? Oh, here's one of them. That's right, I stole her outfit. I need to spruce up her hair real quick. But yeah, this Crissy is basically in mint condition. She just has two tiny little rub marks on her cheeks. Alright, but yeah, so this is one of them. There's another one too. I know that part's sticking up, go figure. But yeah, so this is one of them I did. And her hair just lays absolutely perfect, and it is so nice and sleek and super duper shiny. And you can see how nice and shiny her tail is. And it's just perfect. But yeah, so that is the effects and benefits of boil rinsing your doll. Is to get rid of all that ugly poofiness. Alright, now we're going to do the Talkie Velvet. I'll show you guys again. And it's basically the same process as the Crissy. Now, a little disclaimer. This process does not work on the wool hair dolls. The wool hair is a much more sensitive type of material, so any kind of heat applied to this hair, it'll just dry right up, melt, and it's gone. And there is no saving wool hair once it's melted. You might as well cut all her hair off and reroot her at that point. Alright, so we're just waiting for this water to get super hot. Alright. Alright, so here's our water. Go stick it in the microwave for 3 minutes or until boiling. And then come back over to your workstation and brush your hair out. Get all those nasty knots. So this is for the people who are just joining and haven't seen. This is what the velvet looks like before the boil wash. All nice, super poofy hair. But today we are going to be fixing that. These speakers in here are surprisingly durable. I've boil washed a few Talkie Velvet heads and have never had an issue with any kind of glue or anything coming loose from these speakers or the speaker coming out at all. The ends of her face hair here are pretty pretty. And also, if anyone's heard me mention before, she has the plastic back eyes, and boiling water and plastic back eyelash, or the eyelashes and the plastic back eyes, are not a good combo. So I'm gonna try and not get it into her eyes, but honestly I'm not too worried about it because she needs an eye swap anyway, because her eyes have gone fairly gray. So if she does lose her lashes, I'm not really too concerned about it. However, if your doll has nice lashes, I would try to keep her kind of tilted back like this while you do it so you don't get it in the eyes. Alright. But yeah, basically she's gonna be getting boiled and then her hair will start to flatten out. And why is she... I just washed you. Oh well. Alright. So, 15 seconds left. Let's go get our water. And we will boil rinse Velvet's pretty hair. And she will no longer be a poofy-haired monster. Okay, microwave, you're in a good mood today. because we're boiling water. All right. So, okay, so you have your doll, you have her all brushed out and styled where you want it. And now just take your water and just slowly pour it over. I just got some in her eye. But like I said, I'm not too worried about it. So you can see now how straight it is over here and how flat compared to the curl and the poof over there. Alright, now I'm going to do the back. I can smell the conditioner I used in the steam coming off her head. So now her hair is super duper straight. And then we'll do this last side here. You can see it's curly over there and then straight, which is exactly how I like my Talkie Velvets. I don't like them with all the curl. Even if they came like that originally, I like mine with nice, sleek, smooth hair. Ah. Try not to burn yourself in the process. Okay. Now I'm just going to go through and just put this last little bit over the rest of her hair. Just for good measure. Alright. And now you just brush it out and style it where you want it to go. Like I said, I like mine to be just straight down, really no curl, so I think it just looks a little bit better when it just goes straight. And like I said, her base hair, the ends are pretty frizzy, so she'll probably need 1 or 2 more boil rinses to get rid of that frizz. But this doll has the nylon hair, so I'm not too worried. Because the nylon hair actually does pretty well. Actually, it does more than well, as you could see from Crissy. I'm just going to curl that right underneath there. And then the rest will just kind of finger flatten. Oops. All right. So now you have your velvet with your nice, super smooth, sleek hair. And like I said, I like to have pieces that curl under the chin. That is probably about the only curl I ever have in my Talkie Velvets. So now let's go into the bathroom. And you can see how nice and totally smooth. Wow, look at that. Nice and smooth and shiny all the way around. Her base hair is still a little bit frizzy, like right there. Like I said, she'll probably need a couple more boil rinses. But for now, she's good. We'll see how she dries. And then of course you want to trim off all those extra super long pieces. But yeah, so that, my friends, is how I get my doll's hair to look so sleek and shiny. There's a few pieces here that don't belong there. All right. But yeah, so that is how you boil rinse your doll's hair. I'm gonna set her in here with Crissy, and then I'll turn my flash on so you guys can really get a look at the shine. Okay, let me flip this around here, turn on my flash, and you can see how nice and just totally super smooth their hair is. And they look absolutely fabulous. Super, super nice and shiny. And then you just wait for those to dry. And then once they dry, you give them a good, styling with your brushes. And then they're all good to go. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and make this video because I have a lot of people asking in my Crissy group how I got my doll's hair so smooth and shiny. And that is how I boil rinse my doll's hair. Not every single time, but every so once in a while, to the ones with really poofy hair, I will do. I already did her hair once, but you can see it's still kind of poofy, but it is nice and super shiny. So like I said, one process may not be enough. You might have to do it multiple times. Like I'm gonna have to do this girl again, which would be the second time I've done her. But sometimes it's a one and done thing, other times it's not, and that's okay. I think I had one doll I boil rinsed like at least 3 or 4 times because her hair was just not cooperating. But yeah, so that is how you boil rinse your doll's hair, and that's about it for this video. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all learned something new about how to clean up your dollies. And yeah, I hope you all have a fantabulous rest of your Crissy-filled day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Adios!